I want to talk to you about using ginger. This spicy warm root, well actually it's a rhizome, and I want to talk about using ginger in your home for anti-inflammatory purposes. It's not just for flavoring yummy foods and dishes. Get it out. I'm sure you probably have some right now in your home. If not, you can easily find some at the grocery store. So ginger is called shengjiang in Chinese medicine, and this is a piece of fresh ginger. So it's so easy to use, and I'm sure you might be tired of running to your kitchen, cabinets, or running to the store and grabbing over-the-counter pills, anti-inflammatories, NSAIDs, Tylenol, Advil, all that stuff, getting tired of the side effects of it. And they don't really help anyways, right? I mean, you're having to keep continuing to take them. And what if you could use something like ginger? And of course, use your common sense, right? I mean, I have to always give you the disclaimer. We don't diagnose, treat, or prevent disease. This is just for educational purposes. But it's pretty easy to use. And I'm going to show you a couple different ways and some different things about ginger. So research has shown, and this is pretty recent research, that it has anti-inflammatory properties. It benefits arthritis, lower back pain. So also, it can be used on pressure points. There are studies where they're injecting ginger into the pressure points, and I know there are some states that may allow that. They don't here in California where I'm at, but that would be, inserting into certain pressure points or where you have the pain trigger points. So what I would suggest is to try some ginger. Just take it. What you want to do is wash it and then peel the skin off. I just use a paring knife, and you can save the skin because I'll tell you in a few seconds how you can use the skin. So you want to slice it in some uniform slices. You can use a mandolin. I just sliced mine kind of like this and make a tea. Simply steep it in some boiling water. You can mash it a little bit, put it in your mug here, take your spoon and just kind of mash it up a little bit to release some of those oils, and then pour your boiling water and let it steep 2 to 4 minutes. You can strain the ginger or just sip it, and of course not swallowing the big slices of ginger. So it smells really amazing. So the properties are warming and acrid, pungent, spicy, however you want to say it. So it can help not only, like I was talking about, with arthritis and low back pain, but with tummy troubles, feeling a little nausea, some vomiting, morning sickness, motion sickness, and it can help with upper respiratory tract, like common cold, like just kind of with a nasal congestion, minor cough, minor itchy throat, and feeling of like chills and slight fever, a little headache, those kinds of things. Of course, I'm just naming some common symptoms, but we're not diagnosing or treating. So, but if you dry ginger, now it has different properties. It makes it hotter, and it's stronger, and it goes deeper for more internal conditions. So like maybe instead of just a common cold, you have the flu, like more flu-like symptoms where it's affecting even the digestive tract, where you're having more diarrhea, or you could even be suffering from chronic diarrhea, and your stomach tends to feel cold, like you benefit from putting like a warm water bottle, putting some pressure on your stomach might feel good, and you might feel cold like in general. So if you're having more hot symptoms, and being that dried ginger, and this is some dried ginger right here, being that it's hotter, you wouldn't use it for a hot condition, right? Like a higher fever, and you're feeling really hot, your face is red, you're sweaty, you dislike warm things, like cold, like warm makes it worse. So you wouldn't want the warm, you wouldn't want pressure, you would not like a hot drink. You just simply, that doesn't taste good. Those are just easy ways to kind of discern whether or not it's a hot or a cold condition. But the dry ginger is hotter, so you would use more caution in the case of pregnancy because of its heat. So it's a little more moving, but it does stop bleeding for like heavy menstrual bleeding. That's just one example. So, and then if you save the peel, you can also dry the peel of the ginger. So the peel is called Shangjiang Pi, that's Pi in Chinese medicine. And just looking at my time there. So what you would do to dry the peels or the ginger is you could just simply let it out in the sun. You could use a dehydrator. You can put it in the oven on low, like 100 degrees, 135, maybe up to 200 degrees. It just, and then how long you would leave it in the oven, it just depends on the temperature. So at like 130, it might take you 3 to 4 hours. At 200, it's probably less than an hour. I think I did this at 200 and it was 40 to 45 minutes that I had it in the oven. And you want to check it because you don't want it to crumble or burn, but it'll just be dried out. And you can see that it's kind of dried. It's dried out. And so when you dry it too, and if you dry the skin, you can crush it and powder it. And then you can also just use the powder and put that in a tea or a soup. And what I have here, this is some 5-to-1 dried ginger. So this has already been prepared as a decoction, like in boiling water. And it's awesome. And that's what I have here on the little spoon is some dried ginger. And the aroma is definitely ginger. So this is the Ganjian. So that means dried as opposed to Shangjian. That's another nice option. Now, you can have an essential oil of ginger where you would dilute it with some coconut oil, and you can try rubbing a few drops on a particular area or maybe along the belly for any digestive concerns. So, you know, another thing is that ginger, have you ever thought about why is it served with sushi, like seafoods, right? Because it neutralizes toxins, helps, you know, it's antibiotic, antimicrobial, kills parasites, so it's why it's served with your sushi. Also with other herbs, can be prepared in ginger juice to help neutralize toxic properties, and then that enhances the therapeutic properties that we're trying to get. And we seldom use an herb like by itself, but there are some like ginger that we do commonly use by itself. But let me see here. I have this formula called Guizhitong cinnamon twig decoction. Now this has some ginger in it. So it's found commonly in a lot of formulas to work synergistically with other herbs to help bring it all together, kind of harmonize all the properties. It does make it taste better, so that's another good reason. So, and counteracts any negative toxins in other herbs. So often you'll find red date, ginger, and baked licorice. Those are three, like the kind of the trio that are used together as a combination and added to other bigger formulas. So if you aren't sure if ginger is for you, contact a local acupuncturist. You need to seek help from a professional. Of course, always tell your doctor everything you're doing, what you're taking, what supplements, birth control pills, because you want to be sure that there are no interactions. And if you feel any side effects or ill effects, stop taking it. Like I said, use your common sense. So this is something that's right out, found in the grocery store, and you probably didn't think of using it in this way other than just flavoring your dishes. So give it a try and let me know if you do and how it worked for you. And if you didn't have to go and grab some of those other more poisonous types of pills and capsules and things that you're trying to get away from, you just didn't know about, thinking, hey, I can make an herbal tea with ginger. So anyway, I will post a written write-out of this on my blog, and you'll see this here on YouTube. So please like this video so that I know it was helpful. Comment below if you've tried ginger before, if you like the taste of it or how you've used it, if you've used it dried, if you've used the skin, did you use the essential oil, have you used it powdered, and let's hear from you. Thank you very much for joining me.